Hello everyone, I'm Corey Shaw, Windish RV General Manager here. Today we are talking with Justin Terveen, our Grand Design Imagine and Transcend rep. How we doing, Justin?
Great. How are you, Corey?
Doing well. You've been able to take a break from all those Photoshops that you get to be in brochures and live footage for Grand Design?
Man, I've been signing brochures. I've been a popular guy, man.
Well, cool. All right. Well, so you rep two different lines for us. You rep the Transcend and the Imagine. So we've gotten some questions off of our Facebook page, off our YouTube page, and then from customers here who have come into the lot that we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
All right. So starting off, I'm going to kind of separate these things, but we're going to start with Transcend. So with Transcend, you guys have done some extremely cool things in the way of construction for them. I'm going to hold up here, a piece that we show customers when they're in, because again, Grand Design sets themselves apart from pretty much everybody else in the way that they construct their trailers. So as we're looking at this piece here, can you kind of tell me what to point out on it? That make you different from other manufacturers?
Yeah, and you led into that perfectly. I think one of the biggest things with Transcend that's awesome to see is it's kind of overbuilt. It's built like a tank, is what I like to tell people, especially in that marketplace. What you're holding in front of you is actually a cutout of our sidewall seals. So where two walls are going to meet up, that's what you're going to see. What's in your hands right there. On the bottom, starting at the bottom with that black piece of, it's kind of like a foam seal up at the top there. That's our foam seal. Transcend is a metal-sided unit that has a corrugation in the sidewall metal. So to contour some of those corrugations, we use a foam seal that contours to it and fills in all those little gaps so water doesn't get in. On top of that, what you see is actually that white piece of metal is actually the sidewall metal, which is another great feature because we use thicker sidewall metal on the Transcend than almost anybody else in the marketplace. We do an 030 thickness on the sidewall and an 040 thickness on the front wall, which is the thickest in the industry in that segment. And what else you're holding there, that gray piece of tape on the top there, that's called our Mylar seal. That's a substitute that we use for what's traditionally called like butyl tape on a lot of other units in that marketplace. This Mylar seal that we use has a lot longer life expectancy. It can withstand a bigger variation in temperature. And it's, like I said, it's going to last a lot longer for those customers and not cause water seal issues and water penetration, which is a big issue for RVs.
Okay, so again, this is it's solid construction is what we're looking at here. And a Transcend, as you said, is an aluminum sided trailer, and you guys are just trying to give it more structure, more durability to it than what our competitors would have in a traditionally built wood frame aluminum sided trailer.
100%.
Okay. So again, those things are amazing that you've done with the Transcend. A couple things that you guys have changed recently on the Transcend, I'd like you to talk about. Items like the new refrigerator that you guys have put in. Items like the solar that is coming from Grand Design on the Transcend. Can you speak a little bit towards those items?
Yeah, so that's another great thing for Colorado specifically. I know you have a lot of dry campers out there, especially going up into the mountains. One thing that we've added in Transcend is a building block kind of starter solar package for that user. So what that package consists of is a 165 watt panel that's mounted on the roof of the unit, a 10 gauge wire that's prepped down to your pass-through storage compartment where you find your solar charge controller. And then inside the unit, we just added a new 12 volt refrigerator. This refrigerator is actually a little bit larger than what we used to use, so there's an added bonus there. So this kind of solar package is really helpful for those dry campers if they don't have the ability to hook up. If they've got those solar panels out there, if they've got sun, they can run that refrigerator almost infinitely. Even on a cloudy day, you can still get power out of that, go straight into the batteries and run the unit off the batteries. And I think one of the cool things that we're doing a little bit differently is this complete package. There's some out there that are switching to the 12-volt refrigerator, but maybe missing some other pieces of that. We've done the whole thing. Another cool thing is you can actually add an additional panel to the existing package that we do. So if you want to do two 165 panels up on the roof, you can do that as well. So there's a lot of ways to go up. We're just trying to give those people that building block the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Again, it's Grand Design kind of thinking ahead, trying to solve those problems that a customer might have in the future, making sure that it's taken care of at the beginning from Grand Design. I do have a quick question in regards to the refrigerator running off of the 12-volt battery. Would you suggest for a customer, for us as a dealer, to add that second battery, or maybe do two 6-volt batteries for them? Would that be a suggestion from Grand Design?
Yeah, 100%. I think when it comes down to solar packages, your solar package and your solar system is only as good as your batteries are. You can have a lot of panels up on the roof, but if you don't have anywhere to store that power, then the system isn't as good as it could be. If you do, like you said, two deep cycle batteries, two group 27 batteries, sometimes they're called that, that's going to be advantageous 100%, because then you can bring in that power, store it in those batteries, and then obviously use it for a longer period of time.
And that's something that we as a dealer, as Windish, we can help those customers put those batteries onto the trailer. So again, Grand Design looking ahead, which is amazing for them. So kind of moving from Transcend, going into Imagine. Imagine has some of the best floor plans of the industry. You know, they have floor plans like the 17 MKE, the 2400 BH, but between those, you've got in the Imagine an XLS and a regular Imagine line. What are the differences between the XLS and the regular Imagine?
So that's a great question. Something that I get asked pretty often. I think the cool thing actually is that there's not many differences between the two. We literally took Imagine and just put it in a smaller application. So those XLS units are just going to be shorter. It's not like we're really pulling out a lot of the features to cut the price or anything like that. It's really just a smaller package than the bigger Imagines are. You'll notice some kind of some obvious differences, like it doesn't have a fiberglass front cap, but it still has the same insulation. We still put the same build quality into both of them. It's just things more like a 14-inch wheel versus a 15-inch wheel. It's literally just a smaller package, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Is there any difference? This is a big thing, and as you know, I used to be a salesperson, but something that we used to always talk about was the actual pass-through storage on an Imagine, of how large that is. Is that a difference between the XLS and regular Imagine?
Yep, that's a great point. So again, talking about the size differences, the big Imagines, which I like to call them the big Imagines, so a 2250 RK and larger, are going to have what's called a drop frame pass-through storage compartment, which is a lot larger. It's got bigger baggage doors on it. When you go to an XLS, you get a little bit smaller baggage door up in the front, just because it's a smaller application there. We've got a smaller unit. But the larger Imagine models are going to have industry-leading pass-through storage compartment sizes with big insulated baggage doors and slam latches on them.
Okay, so again, minor differences between them, but there still are differences.
Correct. One thing that I always like to reiterate is we're not taking out the quality, and because it's an XLS, it has less quality. We pack that same pre-delivery inspection, the same build quality, the same lamination process into both units.
With those processes that you have now, obviously out there it's cold, here it's cold. In Colorado it can be sunny outside, but it can be 14 degrees. And we have a lot of our campers who want to go out earlier in the spring and stay out later in the fall. Are the Imagines enclosed underneath, and is there heat that is run down to them to help prevent from freezing? There's not a brand that you will stop it completely, doesn't matter what manufacturer it is, but to help prevent freezing underneath the trailer, does Grand Design do that with the Imagine?
Correct. Yeah. So we've got a fully enclosed underbelly. There's heat that's fed from the furnace of the unit down to the underbelly where all of your tanks are going to be. So like you said, winter camping, early spring, late fall camping, you're going to be a lot better off with those more regulated temperatures in that underbelly area. Actually, Grand Design doesn't build one unit that has an exposed underbelly. Everything we build is enclosed.
Awesome. I heard that from one of your cohorts, Eric, on Reflection. He said the same thing. I just was trying to make sure that it was an actual true statement.
He's right. He's not lying to you.
All right. Well, good. Okay. So something that I've been asking all of our different reps that we've been interviewing is about their brands. If you could describe in 10 words or less your favorite option or feature on an Imagine or Transcend, I want you to do both, what would it be?
10 words, that's a little tough. But here, I'll give you one. I'll give you one feature from both of them that I love. I think the solar package that we're doing on Transcend is one of the coolest things ever. I'm really proud of the fact that we're doing a complete package where the customer is really like rolling off the lot, set to go. That package is built the right way. It's actually overbuilt, and that's a thing of the future. That solar package is.
Okay.
That was more than 10.
I think that was more than 10. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the Imagine?
The Imagine, I'm really proud of our build quality in our lamination process at Imagine. The test that we do on the lamination process, the fact that the entire coach all the way around is laminated to the extremes, slide boxes, that whole entire process. I grew up in the RV industry. I know I look young, but I grew up in the RV industry, and I think seeing some of the units in the early 2000s having lamination issues, I think some of the customers out there can attest to that. Having that quality of in the lamination process is a big plus.
And it's a laminated, not a vacuum sealed bond.
Correct. Yep.
All right, well, perfect. I've got one more question for you here. Do you prefer doing an interview like this or sitting out in front of a campfire getting photos taken for you for a brochure for a Transcend or Imagine?
You know what, Corey? I think any day I get to talk to you is the best day of my life. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, and then a follow-up to that was, you had the distinct honor of being the rep of the year for Windish RV last year for our Lakewood and Longmont stores. What does that mean to you?
I think it means I get to work with one of the best dealerships in the country, and I just get to have a great time every day talking with you guys, and you guys do an awesome job. Couldn't be more proud.
Awesome. Well, again, Justin, thank you for being here to answer these questions to help both of our customers out. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching. And if you have any questions, reach out to either our Lakewood location or our Longmont location. And if you have more questions for Justin, just let us know. He'll certainly take your phone call. We can get you in touch with him. Again, thanks everybody. Juice, thank you. And we'll talk soon.